All right, it's time to turn in your first lab guide. So let's pretend we're going to Canvas, we're going to video and animation, we're going to our assignments, and here you can see Creativity Lab Guide. Now I want to point out that when you turn in lab guides, you should be turning in PDFs, and you should also be using the Notes app to scan the documents, not taking pictures of the documents. I want it as one document, and I want it as a PDF. I don't want photos, okay? Scanning it will actually scan all of the text in it as well, and it will make it recognizable. Unlike a photo, it's just gonna be flat, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the Notes app. Mine's in the dock already, so it looks like a notebook. And oh, I already have mine open. I'm gonna hit cancel. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is, let's pretend you just opened it. You need to make a new note, okay? So I'm gonna make a new note, and you can just hit in the upper right-hand corner, and I already have a new note, okay? After you have the new note, you're gonna go for the camera icon, and notice you have some options here. It says scan document, take photo or video. You want to scan a document, okay? You do not wanna take a photo. So I'm gonna hit scan document, and before I get started, I wanna make sure that I hit manual, not auto, or else it's gonna keep taking pictures without you actually selecting it, okay? So I have our first lab guide here. So I'm gonna hover over, now yours is gonna be filled out, make sure that your sketches are complete and also that you've answered the questions on page 3 and 4. So I'm gonna hover over and you're gonna see that it will have this little yellow box for where it's thinking that there's a document. So then I'm gonna hit the shutter release button, that white button, and it's gonna scan it. And then I can actually bring in the corners of the page, because notice that it also saw my notebook as well. And I'm gonna hit keep scan. All right, and then I'm gonna move to the 4th page, and again I'm gonna hover over, and then I'm going to hit the shutter release to take the picture. Again, I'm going to move in the 4 corners so I can get rid of, I'm cropping out all the extra, and I'm gonna hit keep scan. Okay, so now if I look over here on the left, where I have my 2 images, okay, and I'm gonna hit save. All right, and mine scanned sideways since I started horizontally, so I would retake them at the other orientation. But notice that, do you see how it says creativity? And it's because it scans the document for text. That's the big difference between taking a photo and scanning a document. So I'm gonna hit the document where it says creativity, and I'm going to rename it. So that's why I was on sideways right here. I'm gonna delete this name, and I'm gonna put in my first name, last name, underscore, and then what it is. So it's Creativity Lab Guide, and you spell it right, underscore, and then today's date. Okay, so you need to get in practices of using filing conventions. So you should always put your name on your stuff. You should always say what it is, and you should always say when it was created, depending on what kind of graph it was. And I'm gonna hit save. Okay, so notice that I had to select the scan inside the document, okay, to be able to see the share button in the upper right-hand corner. So if I didn't select it, you're not gonna see that share in the upper right-hand corner. So make sure you select the document. And then I'm going to hit the share button, and I want to, you can turn it in straight to Canvas, but I'm actually gonna save it. So you can save it to your Google Drive, you can save it to your iPad, and then I want you to turn it in. So I'm gonna hit save to files, and I'm gonna save it to my iPad, and I'm just gonna go ahead and save it to my Chrome folder. But this is where you can actually make a new folder in the upper right-hand corner with the folder icon with the plus, and start saving your imagery there, okay? And I'm gonna hit save. Replace, because I already practiced doing this, okay? So now if I go to my file folder, here's your files on your iPad, and I go to on my iPod, in that Chrome folder, we'll see the PDF that I did sideways. Don't do that sideways. Do what I say, not what I do. All right, and so now I'm gonna go to Creative Lab Guide, and I wanna turn it in. I can say submit, file upload. I'm gonna go to files. I'm going to pick this lab guide. Notice that it's a PDF, so it's a 2-page PDF, and I'm gonna hit submit, okay? and then you'll get confetti when you submit it. So again, I just want to point out that it's a 2-page document notice. It's a PDF, and it scanned all the text in the document versus a picture. And that's how you're going to turn in your lab guides.